See, let's start with atoms and molecules. In previous chapters, we have discussed chemical and physical classification of matter, right? There we have discussed in previous chapter elements and compounds, right? We have discussed elements and compounds. So elements were what? Simplest form of pure substance, which can neither be formed from another pure substance. That means neither they can be fabricated nor they can be decomposed to simpler substances, right? And what were compounds? Compounds were another form of pure substances which are formed by combining two or more elements, right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So compounds were formed by combining two or more than two elements in a definite proportion. One second. Who is Sandeep? It's a left. Okay. So elements and compounds we have discussed in previous chapter. Now we know compounds are formed by combining two or more than two elements. Obviously, some properties where they're like the two elements always combine at a definite proportion by mass, right? कुछ properties थी, मतलब composition fix होता था, properties were different. So we have discussed their properties were different from constituent elements, right? So ये सब चीजें थी जो हमने previous chapter में पढ़ी. Now here we will discuss the laws which govern combination of elements to form a compound, right? This is what we are going to discuss. So laws which govern the chemical combination of elements to form compounds, right? So there are many laws, like 5-6 laws are then as you go in higher syllabus, but here we have only 2 laws. So first of them is law of conservation of mass. See, to give you a feel of what exactly these laws of chemical combination are, let me explain. Ek example le lete. See, if you talk of a dish, we can compare it with a compound, and the ingredients are kind of elements to some extent, not exactly, right? If you talk of a dish, so its ingredients are kind of elements, and the entire dish is your compound. Now, to make a tea, what do you use? Tea leaves are there, right? Your tea bag is there. You take some milk, right? You take some sugar and water, obviously, right? So these are ingredients of a tea, right? Now, can you vary the composition of these ingredients to make tea? Hello? See, if you people will not respond, मुझे भी interest नहीं आएगा. I'm asking, suppose you are in a kitchen and you are making something, let it be tea, right? What are ingredients? A tea bag is there, milk is there, sugar is there, water is there. My question is, do you fix the proportion of these ingredients? Do you use these ingredients in fixed proportion or you vary them?
Sir, fixed proportion.
Okay, you have taken some fixed proportion. What if I increase proportion of milk? will it remain tea or it will become something else? I'll still call it a tea, right? Even if
Yes,
there is
sir.
no milk, I'll still call it a milk. Maybe if milk is not there, I may call it black tea or something else. Or I may add some other ingredients also, but it will remain tea. So to make tea, it's not necessary that all the ingredients always have to be in a definite proportion, right? The proportion of the ingredients may vary. And to your surprise, if you add, not surprise, you know very well. See, if you add 10 gram of this, 50 gram of this, 10 gram of this, and 100 gram of this, do you expect 170 gram of tea?
Yes, sir.
No, it's not necessary. You're preparing it in open, so part of it might evaporate also. You not have the same amount left in your pan as you have added, right? It may some part may evaporate or whatever, right? Obviously, I'm not saying that mass
Yes.
is destroyed, but you may lose it. So here there are no fixed laws, right? If you go to kitchen, you'll use some different proportion. I may use some different proportion. Now, question is, when elements are the ingredients and the dish is your compound, when elements are combined chemically to form compounds, question is, do they follow certain laws or it is as good as what we have seen in our kitchen? So things are different in, when elements combine. When elements combine, things are little different. They are not as liberal as what we have here, right? Elements do not combine in any proportion. If you change the proportion of certain element, the compound will change. As here, if I add 60 gram of milk instead of 50, it will still remain milk tea, right? But if you change the proportion of oxygen, so it might change from carbon monoxide to carbon dioxide, or it may not change at all. You cannot govern the change, right? So you cannot change the composition. It will remain same. So things are different in case of combination of elements, right? Things are not as simple as we have in our kitchen. If you add a little more sugar, so it will still be called as tea. So things are different in the case of combination of elements. So that is what we have to discuss here, right? So we have to understand the laws which govern the chemical combination of elements, right, to form a compound. Clear now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now the first law, actually you have only two laws in your syllabus.
Yes.
One is law of conservation of mass and the other is law of definite proportion, right? So let's discuss the first one, law of conservation of mass. So to begin with, let me take an example. Suppose there is a vessel which contains some water. It contains 100 gram of water, right? Now, there's a pipe which is connected to a larger vessel. Now, this is heated. It is heated till this water gets evaporated to fill this and this container and obviously pipe and everywhere, right? So I have heated this entire water to the stage where entire thing is converted to vapor. Now 100 gram water will produce same mass of vapor or lesser mass or more mass. Say water in liquid
Same
state
mass
are
of vapor.
sure will remain same, mass will remain same.
Please repeat the question.
See, there was 100 gram of water. I have heated it to the stage where entire water is converted to steam or vapors. Now, the entire mass of the vapor collected in the two vessels will it be same as 100 gram, or its mass will be lesser or more than 100 gram?
Sir, it
Sir,
is
it will be
lesser.
same as 100 gram.
So answer is it will remain same as 100 gram. If nothing escapes, obviously I have drawn the figure which shows nothing escapes. So 100 gram water will give 100 gram steam, or 100 gram ice, if melts, will give exactly 100 gram of water. Right? Now, we have studied in previous chapter, this is example of physical change. So here, first I'll say that in a physical change, total mass remains constant. Only state changes, right? State changes from solid to liquid or liquid to gas or gas to solid, whatever. But total mass remains same, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, question is, what in case of chemical change? Will it be same? The answer is yes. There are many activities or examples written in your books also. There's an experiment, Landau's experiment. There's a Landau's tube, right? Suppose it's connected internally. The two limbs of this tube, one of them contains sodium chloride and the other contains silver nitrate solution, right? I'll not write name. Silver nitrate solution. This is some compound. This side contains silver nitrate solution, right? And this contains sodium chloride solution. Sodium chloride solution. This is yet another compound, right? Now do one thing. Mix the two solutions in the two limbs. After some time, what you'll see, in the two limbs, a white precipitate appears. A white precipitate appears at the bottom of the two limbs, right? Question is, what is that precipitate? Question is, what is that precipitate? Is it silver nitrate or is sodium chloride? No, it has to be different. Why? Because if it was silver nitrate, then it should appear at the beginning also. So something new has formed, right? Hello?
Yes.
It is neither silver nitrate nor it is sodium chloride. It is something new. So this says something new has formed. Something new has formed, that means chemical reaction has taken place. Because in physical change, nothing new is formed. Right? So something new has formed which appears at the bottom of both the limbs. Actually, that is silver chloride. But forget about it. Something new has formed. That means chemical change has taken place. The question is whether the total mass of the tube before the reaction takes place, before the chemical change takes place, and after the change takes place, will be same or not. So it was measured, and the mass before the change takes place is same as the mass after the change takes place. Right? This again says the total mass remains same. Right? This is what we say is law of conservation of mass. So, how will you state it? During any physical or chemical change, during any physical or chemical change, matter is neither created nor destroyed. Matter is neither created nor destroyed. Matter na create होने वाला है ना destroy होने वाला है. So matter remains same. That means amount of matter itself is mass. That is total mass of reactants is same as total mass of product. ना तो reactant ज़्यादा कम होगा ना तो product, right? So during any physical or chemical change, matter is neither created nor destroyed. right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
But yes, matter will
Yes, sir.
change from one form to another. Though matter changes from though matter changes from one form to another. एक फॉर्म से दूसरे में चला जाएगा, बट आपका मैटर चेंज नहीं होगा, मतलब डिस्ट्रॉय या क्रिएट नहीं होगा, राइट? तो टोटल मास जो रहेगा रिएक्टेंट साइड का, मतलब जो आपने यूज किया था स्टार्टिंग में, उतना ही बनने वाला है, राइट? इट विल नॉट हैपन एज हैपेंड विद आवर टी. हम चाय बनाने गए, कुछ चीज एस्केप कर गई, ऑब्वियसली वहां पे भी डिस्ट्रॉय कुछ नहीं हुआ था, सम वाटर वेपर एस्केप्स, राइट? तो थोड़ा सा चाय का क्वांटिटी कम हो जाएगा, द क्वांटिटी ऑफ टी विल बी लेसर देन व्हाट आई एक्सपेक्टेड, राइट? इफ आई kept on gas or burner for a longer time, right? तो वो बात दूसरी थी. यहाँ पे वहां पे भी मास कुछ एस्केप किया है, डिस्ट्रॉय नहीं हुआ. Here also matter will change from one form to another, but it will not be created or destroyed, right? Right ना? अच्छा, what if you burn some wood? अगर आप wood लेते हो और उसको burn करते हो, right? Then do you think the total mass remains same?
Yes, sir.
Can you justify, explain how? Because we have experienced that the ashes left have mass much more lesser than the actual mass of the wood.
Sir, rest would be the smoke.
Yes, carbon dioxide. The smoke contains carbon dioxide and few more substances. Few more substances it may have, right? So most of the carbon combines with the oxygen, again, that is in addition to the mass of the wood, and escapes in the form of smoke, right? So what is left is the ash. Mass of it is lesser than the mass of the wood, but actually the mass of the smoke which had escaped in atmosphere is more than what your mass was, what was the mass of the wood, right? Because that includes oxygen also, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So let me write 2-3 numericals. Suppose there's a question. 20 gram of carbon combines with 60 gram of oxygen. Sorry. 30 gram of oxygen one second. Do this. If 24 gram of carbon combines with 32 gram of oxygen gives 44 grams of carbon dioxide, find amount of carbon left in the sample, whatever it is. Say 24 gram of carbon combines with 32 gram of oxygen. It gives 44 gram of carbon dioxide. Now, what is amount of carbon left? if you consider law of conservation of
8
mass.
gram.
12 gram is answer. How? Law of conservation of mass is total mass of reactants is same as total mass of products. Right? Now, here they say 24 gram carbon combines with 32 gram of oxygen, right? What is the product? Product is 44 gram of carbon dioxide and nothing else. That means some residue is left, and that should be carbon as per the question. So suppose that is X. So X should be how much? 24 plus this is 56 minus 44. That is 12 gram. So 12 gram carbon is left. Right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So that is what we say is law of conservation of mass. What I saw, with 24 gram carbon and 32 gram of oxygen was taken. And the product is 44 gram of carbon dioxide. So mass does not balance this. This is 56 and this is 44. That means something is left. Either oxygen was left or some carbon was left. Obviously, no question is not very precise, not correct. But as per question, I feel ki find amount of carbon left. So I assume ki carbon is extra. So some carbon was left in the sample. So that is what you have to estimate. So carbon plus oxygen, that is 56. And carbon dioxide, that is only 44 gram. That means some carbon is left. So suppose that is X. So that is 44 plus X, right? So X is 12, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this concludes our law of conservation of mass. Now, question is whether there is any exception, as we have a lot of exceptions in chemistry. Is there any exception